Hello, welcome to the Relish Lifestyle podcast. We are on episode 12 of series 2, which is amazing. We've got through all those episodes.
I know.
Cracking through it.
Woo.
So we are here. It's definitely cool. It's very cold, actually. We even had snow in Chichester, which is really unusual.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So
November snow.
I know.
Eek.
Really unusual.
I know, it was quite exciting.
Yeah, I like it.
Nothing happened there, of course. Didn't actually.
I think what's quite nice about snow is it starts to make you feel slightly festive, even though we don't get it. Well, we never do get White Christmas, but
No.
at least it's the thought we're transitioning into that period of time.
Yeah, I think it's all cozy, which we've talked about before. But I think it's that. I think this time of year is like we go into that sort of thing of traditions, don't we? As we step towards Christmas, or even before that, like you have bonfire night and things. Do you know, there's all these traditional things.
Yeah, and I think also it's sort of a way of making the monotony of the dark early evening something to look forward to. So you have bonfire night, then you have obviously more American, but Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
it's all celebratory. But I guess it helps you just get through.
Yeah,
an otherwise quite bleak period of time.
I think also it was a celebration of the abundance, which we've talked about before, harvests. And, you know, people would store their harvest. And then it was a way of, yeah, you're right, absolutely getting through. You know, it was nutritional and it was something to celebrate to get through. But you light the fires and hunker down and that kind of stuff. But
definitely.
Yeah, so yes.
I mean, we don't actually follow what I would call a traditional Christmas. Obviously we do. We have the meal on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But in terms of our main, what do you call it? Centerpiece.
Yes.
We don't have turkey.
No. Which is the big thing for Thanksgiving, and then it's been the big thing for Christmas. But did you know, Charlie, that this year I read since the 1950s, it's the least amount of turkeys we are eating, or I should say, we are eating or buying the least amount of turkeys than ever before. And it's been slowly going down.
So I guess that is because not just us are having a turkey, other people are going for lamb, beef.
Yeah, but I think one of the reasons being is a lot of people, it's scary. You know, you get this huge bird. I think the other thing is, what do you do with the huge bird, you know, the next day? Lots of people don't want all that left over. Some people don't have oven space anymore.
No.
You know, I mean, space is limited in many, many kitchens, or we don't have huge families. Maybe they're going out for lunch. I think also, I was going to say that I think things like the crowns and things. So you're not having that huge bird, it's all smaller.
But I think one of my arguments, this is why I've always been quite passionate about not having turkey, is I think they've kind of almost, because we've had them in such volume, I would say the flavour of the turkey has been slowly eroded from what I would call mass producing them.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can get different breeds which will still have that gutsy, gamey flavour. But I would say the bulk of what we buy, the white turkey that you buy in supermarkets, which is where most people would be buying their turkey, won't have that flavour, won't have that punch that it probably did traditionally, probably the 50s.
Well, yeah, because they were a wild bird.
Yeah.
And then they were sort of semi-domesticated, I think. But they're bred for such a short time, really, and then that's it, isn't it?
Definitely. Well, it's interesting it's dropping off. But we've had all sorts. I did a pig butchery course, and we had a bit of the pig that I butchered on Christmas Day. We did the venison porchetta last year.
Oh yeah, we've had. Did we do? Oh yeah, that was the venison porchetta,
which you did.
But I think we've done a pork one before, but we've done other things like venison loin, and we've had guinea fowl. We've had beef, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people. I've noticed that some of the advertisements have been showing things like just having the gammon or the beef as the main event, if you like. And also, I think a lot of people like vegetarian as well. I think there's some really nice main things you can do.
There is an element of that as well, because obviously tastes are evolving and not everyone wants to sit down and can eat the same thing, I should say, actually, because of intolerances or change to diet or anything like that. But what is actually quite interesting, just quickly on that, like you just said about the turkey drop.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, the whole vegan obviously trend, and obviously people who follow a vegan diet, actually the volume of consumption of vegan food is actually kind of plateaued, or if not slightly declining this year. So there is actually probably a swing back to meat-based for Christmas.
Oh, right.
I'm not saying everybody, obviously.
No.
But I think there's a lot more out there about sort of what is good for you in terms of which meats, and probably, again, just the selection available. And like you said, those crowns now, I mean, I've seen them all over the supermarkets. They're doing chicken crowns.
Yeah.
So I think to your point, if a lot of people are, 2, 3, 4 people on Christmas Day, or even maybe on your own if you're working or whatever, you can't, what's the point in getting a £28 turkey?
No, exactly. And then I think for a lot of people, Charlie, a lot of people, they only want the breast. They don't know what to do with the rest.
No.
They haven't got the space or the capacity to deal with it.
No.
I think that's the biggest thing.
I'm just going to throw something out that you touched on.
Go on then.
You said about the adverts this Christmas so far.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite?
Oh yeah. It's got to be the Waitrose ad of Keira Knightley.
It's very clever.
Very clever. They've outdone John Lewis.
I'm sorry, I know that wasn't on our agenda to talk about, but I
certainly
thought it's a big one to cover.
But it's a big thing this time of year. I mean,
well, for us, and I don't know if all countries do it, but I'm sure America does. But in Britain, it's become a thing, like almost the battle of the
Christmas ad. And also, they all come out like mid sort of November.
Yeah.
But you kind of look forward to them coming up. But there are a few good ones, actually.
I think it's almost again another highlight. Yeah. Trying to celebrate when it's dark. You think, advert, Christmas adverts are out.
Right, the other good one is the M&S food one.
Yeah,
with In the Traffic Jam.
Yeah.
Well, she's been in it quite a while.
No, I know.
But In the Traffic Jam is quite clever.
It's quite clever.
Yeah.
No, I quite like it. I have to say, I did think, I know you weren't such a fan, but I thought the John Lewis one was more thoughtful. I kind of get, it was quite emotive.
Yeah, but I just think they could have done something so much more upbeat.
I'm not sure about the others. I feel like the others kind of have gone into a bit of a blurge for me, like Tesco.
They actually, John Lewis did a great ad not that long ago, and it was a film, and they did it. They started off almost not quite. It might have been even when they first opened their doors.
Oh, the history.
But it was fantastic because it was all the things they were selling then, and people and events. And it went through, and of course, really what you realise is John Lewis had been there through all that. And also you could buy all these things at John Lewis. So if you're going to Wimbledon, if you're buying clothes, if you're a sports fan, if it's electronics, if it's music, it was so clever.
Lampshades.
It didn't matter. It was so clever.
I have to say, I do. I thought the Waitrose was very clever. I personally quite like the John Lewis one. The other one that I thought was quite interesting, I don't know if you've seen it, is Asda. I don't like the caricature they've used the Grinch, as in the Disney film, sort of Grinch the Green
Man.
Right. But what's quite interesting, those focus really heavily on like the value, because obviously there is, of course.
Yeah.
And it's about him sort of warming up to the idea that actually can do it a bit cheaper than maybe other supermarkets do.
Yeah.
But it's quite interesting. They've all gone slightly different paths.
Yes.
Whereas, M&S is very sort of party focused. The Waitrose one is obviously love and a couple, and how the love of food.
Yes. Yeah.
And then obviously you've got others that are focusing much more on sort of value and feeding, and that, which actually goes back to that point of, is that a bit old fashioned now? Do you really have 18 uncles and aunties coming around on Christmas Day? Because that's what I would say the bigger supermarkets are focused on.
Yeah.
But what we've just said is actually those sort of things maybe are dropping off that people aren't having.
Yeah, and the Waitrose one, I mean, they've obviously had a lot of spin-offs. So there's the one main ad, and they've done a lot of spin-offs, which is clever. I think to base it on Love Actually with Keira Knightley, I know that was a film written obviously quite a long time ago, but
it's a
and then
Christmas
putting the
film now.
And I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but putting the comedian there with him anyway, with her. But I think it was unexpected.
Yeah.
I think that's what's fun about it. And it does tell a story. And I love the fact that then it's a pie, it makes her a pie.
Well, the other thing I quite liked about it is it's probably the only advert really where you see someone actually cooking something. So he actually is folding out the pastry.
Yes.
His mum rings him and he does the leeks and all that kind of stuff. Whereas I would say a lot of the other adverts are focused on ready-made, like party food and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anyway. No, I agree. I agree.
Actually, a pie would be a nice Christmas main meal, couldn't you?
Joe Wilkinson.
Was that the
Sorry, Joe,
if
you don't ever do listen to this. Yes. But,
but
you're brilliant.
He won't be now.
No, he's brilliant in it. It's such a good...
He's pat us off his Christmas card.
No.
We won't be getting a card this year.
But
Kira might, but not him.
But honestly, to put them together, I mean, even that brings you a smile to your face.
But once I just thought actually a pie is quite a good crowd piece on a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Because you could put all flavours everyone likes in it.
Well, including turkey.
Yeah.
I think that's what he makes, a turkey.
I know, but second leek, I think it's definitely
lovely.
Something
delicious.
Yeah. But actually, just as a thought, if you don't want a big joint of meat, you could do something like a pie. It's quite nice. Yeah. Still quite a centerpiece.
Yeah.
I think that's
quite nice. It ticks a lot of boxes.
Anyway, it's quite interesting because that sort of segues us into the next bit, which is sort of, obviously he uses leeks, but we wanted to kind of focus on the mighty but humble onion. Yes,
that's our ingredient. I thought it would be quite nice. I read something recently about the onion. And if you really think about it, any one of us, if you make a savoury dish from scratch, how often does it take? It state the recipe. Take a small onion, take a medium onion, take some shallot, chopped, sliced, whatever. The base of so many dishes, be it soups, casseroles, pie, like you just mentioned, all these things, or even like I was going to think like a one pot roast thing. Quite often, if it's vegetables or something, but you might take an onion, you quarter it. If you're making a stock, you chuck in some onion. It wouldn't be the same if you didn't add onion.
No.
Anyway,
it adds a layer of flavour.
Oh, extraordinary things.
Well, also, we mustn't just talk about the onion, which is obviously what we would say.
Well, we've got white and brown onions.
Yeah, but we would say that's most onions sold in Britain are like what I call a standard brand. I think it's about 70% of every onion grown in Britain is a white.
Yeah, onion. I think in Europe, quite often they are what I call white. They're white skinned, but they're large.
Well, I think they call them Spanish onions.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think because that's what we actually get at times when we don't obviously have it.
Actually, they were selling enormous onions. They were huge in M&S the other day. Literally,
they might be Spanish
ones like this. They were brown skinned, but they were amazing anyway. But the onion, yes, you're right. So I think this was the stat you looked up. So 60% of the onions we eat in the UK are actually grown here.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is incredible. And the other thing I wanted to just throw out there was they originate from Egypt. The Egyptians absolutely love them. In fact, they worship them. And I think it was to do with the spherical shape of them and the concentric rings. They actually thought symbolised eternal life.
Well, if you think about the Egyptians, they were very obviously
symbolic.
Symbols, hieroglyphs. And also they were the sort of first to sort of look up at stars and moons and so being spherical.
And read things into them. Yeah.
Anyway. I did also see, I think, I read a bit about the onion. Sometimes you were buried with one, and I'm not sure the smell.
Or put the vampires off.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, do you think the smell part of the rotting bodies or something?
Well,
I mean, a rotting onion would be horrible.
Anyway, so you wouldn't smell it.
Oh, okay. No, you wouldn't.
But you know what I mean. It was a bit of an But obviously, it's not always onion. You could use, like we said in that pie and the John Lewis, I think it's leeks. I'll probably look later. It's not leeks.
No. Well, quite often I add. So I will use an onion as the base layer, but I will use, there's a lovely, which we've had it many times, and that's chicken and leek pie. Yeah, but you still chop an onion in it. Of course, there's the red onion.
Yeah.
And they're sweeter. And we intend to eat those raw, or you can sort of, I'm going to say ferment them, but you can ferment any onion. But they're quite nice if you pickle them lightly.
Yeah.
And they go quite pink.
Yeah, lovely.
They're really nice then. But you're right. Then we've got the spring onions. And of course they date right back China, 6,000 years BC. The spring onion. And if you think about it, they do use a lot of spring onions in Asian cookery.
But also the spring onion is
not the onion.
It's not always cooked with. Sometimes it's more of a garnish.
Yes.
As in the green.
Well, because the spring onion you eat raw.
Yeah.
Primarily, but they do cook it as well. I quite often throw in spring onions.
How do you stop tears?
Oh, well, there's two trains of thought. One is you actually put them, what I do is if you've got onions that are really making you cry, is when you've chopped them, you should use a really sharp knife, but put them in water.
Yeah, I read that one. I've seen that.
Or some people even say you do it underwater, but I think that's a bit extreme.
Also, not a safe size.
Yeah.
Slice a finger.
There was one, I don't know if it's an old wives' tale, but you would take a slice of bread.
Yeah, and stick it
in the roof of your mouth.
Apparently that can help. I'm not sure.
You could stick bread up your nose. Maybe
it's like a waste of a piece of bread. Or over your eyes. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would.
Okay, so what is the American term or the Italian term for a spring onion? When you go to America, places like that, what do they call it?
Oh, hold on.
In Europe, they don't call it a spring onion.
No, they don't. Oh gosh, it's gone out my head. All I can think of clandro, and that's obviously coriander.
Scallions.
That's it.
Scallion.
Well done.
Yeah.
God, do you know, I'd forgotten that.
So quickly then, so on the leek, as we are focused on here, so amazingly, quite a lot of people are allergic to onions. And so a leek, but regularly, they're not allergic to a leek, even though they're the same family. So, but I think because a leek is gentler, it's softer, it's silky, I think it's sweeter.
Yeah.
And
I love leek.
Yeah, I absolutely love leek.
Also, I would say what I like about leek, and this comes from pure laziness, but also the flavour, is I think they're much easier to prepare.
Well, they don't make you cry.
No, but you just chop off the two ends, rinse it, and chop it.
You do have to be very careful how you rinse it. If you're washing them whole.
But I've done some recipes recently where I've had some leeks, and actually I think they add a different level of flavour to just a regular onion. And I've actually I will put some photos up. Actually, I did a piece of pork, and I put carrot and leeks on the base of the pan, and then set the pork on top, and then roasted it. I did put some liquid in halfway through cooking. But God, the leeks go lovely because they do that sort of one little skin layer goes a bit sort of slightly
caramelized,
but then all of it's squidgy inside. And you can sort of squidge it out. I love that.
Oh, I tell you, right, that's just reminded me. There's a great recipe, and thank you, Diana Henry. It is in one of yours, but I probably do change it around a bit. But it's new potatoes. It's a salad. It's new potatoes, and it's a warm salad, and it's bacon lardons, and it's leeks. She cooks leeks. I can't remember. There's a few other things. I think there's boiled egg in it, which makes the most wonderful, very simple French dressing. It literally is olive oil,
Dijon,
Dijon mustard, cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar, or white wine vinegar, a little bit of salt. You can put pepper in it, but you emulsify that. But you cook. You don't cook the potatoes. You cook those separately. But the other things you cook together. And so it's warm, and then you put it all in together with your boiled eggs, chopped boiled eggs, and the potatoes, and you pour this dressing. I'm not kidding you. It's so simple, and it is so delicious. Yum. It really, really is.
Going back to that, I have to say this is a Nigella, but she does soused red onion slices, and she uses them on different things. I think she does some sort of like lamb kofta sort of wrap.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a really quick way because it's only like about half an hour you need, really. Obviously for the vinegar and the sugar and so on and all that. But it makes the red onion this amazing kind of almost like electric pink. Like I'm looking at a candle, almost a bit water like that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it takes the acridness out of the onion. And actually probably would stop you there.
I was going to say, I think for a lot of people, onions, all the alliums, you can give acid reflux, or you can taste it.
I don't like raw white onion on a salad. I don't need that.
I think there was a competition once. I saw something random where people ate raw onions. I'm not sure I could do that.
There is competition.
No, hold on. I know. I want to share one thing. So, Charlie, what country has the leek as its main symbol?
Wales.
And what I didn't know, did you know that? I didn't know, sorry, I keep repeating myself. No, but it was a battle in 640.
Well, they threw leeks at each other.
No, what happened was, it was a battle against the Saxons.
Oh, okay.
And to distinguish themselves from the Saxons, because I'm presuming they might have all looked a bit the same. No, exactly. They put leeks on them.
Oh. Charged.
and so it became, they obviously grew leeks. Anyway, that was one of the reasons. And then, of course, St. David, the leek, and St. David is patron saint. And he believed that the leek was a very healthy and, get this, virtuous plant.
Oh,
There you are.
interesting. Flavourful and virtuous at the same time.
Yeah, there we go.
That's
So that's a good old onion.
I was just going to ask, I like my stats.
Oh, go on then.
Heaviest onion.
Oh, crikey.
Grown in Leicestershire.
Right.
Can't remember when, but this is apparently.
Do you want this? You want this new money?
Yeah, kilos preferably. I can try and
10 kilos.
There's 8.
Whoa.
Which is a hefty onion. If you think
that is a
normal
onion.
one is about 200, 300 grams. That's a lot. That's a lot of onion. That's bigger than his own.
That's a lot of onion.
You'll be crying a lot.
Just quickly, I don't want to forget this bit. So things like beef bourguignon and it's coq au vin.
Oh yeah.
Of course, and there's various others. They use whole onions.
Yeah.
Now they are always tricky, and that I have to say, I take a very sharp knife. You obviously top and tail them, and then make a slit into the skin. Peel it and chuck it into water.
Yeah.
Chuck them into water.
Yeah.
And do keep rinsing your fingers, because if you've got a lot of them, that will stop your eyes.
Yeah.
You're crying.
Quickly on
I love those.
Actually, you reminded me of the shallots.
Oh, yes.
We haven't touched on those.
Oh, the banana shallot.
Yeah. Well, all shallots, but also obviously we shouldn't forget them because that's the same family.
Yes, but they're much milder.
Yeah.
So
they also add a nice flavour, and actually a few recipes we've done this year have had shallots in.
Yeah.
And I would also say the prep of those again is sometimes can be a bit easier. But the thing I would say is when recipes call for like 18 individual round shallots, you have to be quite patient with that.
You do have to be quite patient.
A bag of those.
There is a very nice recipe, and I'm going to give a shout out. This is a Ottolenghi recipe. It's a vegetarian recipe, and it's basically a lot of roots all mashed up together. Root vegetables, and you add lentils and things, but you also had things like cumin. You had some nice warming spices. I think there's maple syrup. So it really brings out the sweetness. But one of the things you do is you cook whole onions in butter and thyme and red wine.
Oh, lovely.
And you cook it down until they're really soft and rich. And Charlie, a U word, unctuous.
Humble onion. There we go.
That is really lovely. And you serve those on top of the mash, and it's absolutely delicious. Anyway,
that's nice.
The onion.
Yes. Humble but mighty, as I said. Useful too.
And this time of the year, particularly.
And in abundance, really.
Yeah. Well, and they also store really well. Keep them dry.
Well,
and cold.
Talking of sort of going back to our sort of Christmas traditions, we've obviously got to sort of decide some bits, because we're not in this country for Christmas this year.
No.
We're very fortunate. We're off to Portugal.
So we will be having an alternative to
turkey. So obviously it's quite interesting, some of their like traditions. And I was looking, obviously, I wasn't going to do a Christmas cake in this country this year, though obviously I normally would. But what's quite interesting is they have a bolo roy, which I've talked about before. Translates as the king's cake, basically. And again, it's like a bread, but it's enriched. And it has the same essence, shall I say, as like our Christmas cake, but it's much lighter and breadier.
Right? Yes, yeah, okay.
You make a dough rather than a cake batter, if that makes sense. What I was going to say, that you put, in the good old days, you used to put a sixpence in the Christmas pudding.
Oh, yeah, that's
and would chomp on it.
Oh, what do you put in?
Lose a filling.
Do you put this in the cake then?
Yeah, well, in the bolo roy.
Was it a euro?
No, it's different.
Oh.
If you put a euro and you chomp on it.
So what's it called? The king's cake?
Yeah. That doesn't.
Okay. All right. Is it completely random?
It's a broad bean. They put a broad bean in it. And whoever gets the broad bean has to cook the bolo roy next year.
How odd. Wonderful.
Apparently.
Do you know why it's a broad bean?
No.
Oh,
I guess it was a dried broad bean was probably cheap and didn't cost you any money.
Oh, I see. Yeah, dried one. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so that's quite funny, but it's quite clever that the one next year, rather than we used to have the sixpence, you just kept the sixpence, didn't mean anything really. But the broad bean means that you have to now do it next year. It's quite interesting. But obviously they are much more veg and fish orientated than we are when it comes to the sort of main event.
Yes, well, I think you talked about this. They particularly like something salt cod.
Yeah. So they might get your crispy chickens up.
Oh, yes.
You'll do it.
That reminds me. So looking back at our year, that when we went to Barduro, we had our salt cod.
Yeah.
What was it? Like a potato cake thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it's
frosty.
Like yeah, but it's kind of like, it sounds awful to call it a clump, but it kind of is a clump of cod. the tiny little chips.
Which are potato shards.
Yeah, the shards of potato, crispy. And then there was a bit of onion in there and olive.
I think I had capers in it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But anyway, you just have that.
No, I definitely want to try doing that.
But
we're going to have some lovely Iberico or Portuguese pork.
Hopefully.
They have that wonderful, wonderful pork.
So that is quite interesting. And obviously this is the last episode of our series 2. So we're moving on to series 3, which is amazing. And thank you for everyone that's been listening. But have you got any kind of highlights from this series that's just coming to a wrap?
Oh God, I think there's quite a few actually. And when you start without sort of having to read back what you've done or listen back to what you've done, but I think for me, I loved getting all those cheeses from Neil's yard from around the country. And I mean, honestly, we could do that again because we only had 6 or 7.
Well,
so I think I'd like to order some more in the new year because we are really supporting, artisan cheese creators, if you like, developers. And the other one was when we did the apple tasting, and then they were apples from that were grown wild around here. And I think for me, with the cheese and the apples, it was amazing the difference in the taste.
Yeah.
And also
the flesh.
What we lack when you just go to a supermarket
and buy a box
and you realise how everything virtually tastes the same.
Good.
I mean, I know there are lots of other outstanding things, but go on, that's 2 of mine. You do.
Well, I've got 3, if I may. So one was obviously, I did my great taste judging, which is always a treat and amazing. The producers and the effort that goes into those products. So obviously we've done all the figures in terms of stars and things, but it's just an amazing event, and I love to be part of it. And I just think it's fantastic to be able to have the opportunity to taste such a wide variety of different food and drink. And yeah, it's a privilege, really.
Oh, and of course, they've recently done the Great Cheese Taste.
Yeah, World Cheese.
And was that in
Geneva, Switzerland? Yeah,
amazing.
So again, a wonderful thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
The other one was obviously I did have my trip to Loire, and I had an amazing afternoon tasting cold pressed rapeseed, which I've been using, rapeseed oil, I should say, and I've been using both their oils and their flour. So that was a real highlight. The other one, and obviously I've enjoyed the tastings as well, but the other one for me was obviously we were on the telly. We were caught on TV at Wimbledon with our umbrella up because it was so hot.
Oh gosh, that has really reminded me. It was 34 degrees. It was the hottest day of Wimbledon on record, I think. I mean, at one point I thought, I'm not sure I can survive.
No,
it was that hot
weather.
It was fainting
I would have
weather.
had the vapors.
And Charlie, if you hadn't taken that umbrella, and it was a black umbrella, but anyway,
it doesn't matter. It shields you from the heat, the rays of the sun. But anyway, so those are probably 3 of my sort of big.
And I think one more recently is when we did our day in London, and we went to Bordeaux, and we went to Borough Market, and we tried all these things.
And we did our first outdoor broadcast.
We did, and we're going to be able to do more now.
Yeah,
we've got our new mics.
Yeah,
so that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, so it was. I think it's been a really good year. It's been a year of learning in terms of things like outdoor broadcasting.
Yes,
but obviously,
and we're still learning.
Yeah, and the tastings and things. The other thing, just obviously to mention, is we are hoping to get longer, more kind of recipe focused videos up on our YouTube channel.
We are.
Obviously, bear with us. We're sort of editing and making it all look a bit prettier than it was. So it's, as you can imagine, it takes all time. And there is only the 2 of us doing this. So yeah, we're going to do more of that. There is one up there now. It's the Caldos Verde, which is the Portuguese soup that we did. Please have a look. It is the only one up there at the moment, but it is worth a view because that's what's coming in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's been a really good series. We've got a lot to go for series 3. Obviously, suggestions are more than welcome, but we have a plan which you have put together, which is fantastic of what we're going to do.
Charlie, what are we going to be cheersing at Christmas? Because I was just thinking about, cozy drinks. We got our slow gin that you're going to decant. But I was just thinking, in other countries, you get things like Glühwein or vin chaud or wassail, of course, here, darling. cider or mulled wine, I should say.
I don't.
What do you reckon in Portugal then?
I don't know.
Do we know?
I don't know actually. I'm going to be honest.
We'll have to look it up.
But I think something.
We can share that when we've got our podcast out there.
And we are going to do a podcast like we did when we were in Greece. We will do some
live stuff
out there and hopefully do some videos as well.
Yeah, because there's some markets we're going to go to and stuff.
Exactly. So we're already plotting where we're going to go food-wise.
Yeah.
Good. But yeah, I don't know if they do anything specific, but obviously things like glühwein and without show is probably pretty available, I would think, because obviously they do Christmas markets. But I would say in Portugal, it's interesting. Hasn't been as westernized. I know it's a ridiculous word to use, but the Christmas tree and stuff like that in Lisbon, I think that's actually a relatively new addition. I don't think it's always been there. Obviously, the last sort of 5-10 years they've had the light switch on, but that's come later. It hasn't. It's not. They haven't grown up.
In terms, I mean, you know the history a bit more, but it wasn't until the 70s, wasn't it, that they lost the dictatorship?
Yeah, late 70s. So a lot of things like gatherings and music and all sorts was obviously banned. Up until sort of the mid to late 70s. So things like Christmas and stuff is obviously there were traditions, but I suppose it was more focused around church and more conservative.
Of course, yeah.
And worship. Whereas obviously probably even the feasting was probably curtailed slightly by the political way that it was up until, like we said, late 70s.
Well, Charlie, maybe we should create our own relish Christmas Portuguese grog.
A melange of what we've got out.
Grog.
Relish grog.
Grog is such a horrible word, isn't it?
Relish.
Glog, it's there, but I don't know grog.
I don't know
so funny.
But I'm sure sadly we can't take our recently made slogan, so we have to
take it with us.
But yeah, so yeah, it's been a really good year of podding, and it's really taking off. I think we're getting there. We're covering a lot of topics in our half an hour to 40 minutes. So it's been good. So we're looking forward to starting our next series. So in the next couple of weeks we will kick off series 3.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say a big thank you, as you just said, for being part of what I'm going to say is our delicious journey. And we've definitely got new ideas we'll be cooking up. So please stick with us and share and follow us, because we are going to be back in the next couple of weeks. So it's not going to be a big gap or anything like that.
Don't turn your ovens off.
And you could get more of us, as we said, on YouTube, and we're going to be looking up more on our website and stuff like that. So
so don't turn your ovens off. Keep them warm. Keep your grog topped up. Whatever you're drinking, your drink of choice.
We'll see you for season 3. Oh, series 3.
You'll hear us even.
You hear us. You might see us on YouTube.
Well, actually, we did the video of us doing our photo shoot for our cover.
Yes.
So we're doing more of that.
Yes, we're going to put some of those photographs
new
up.
photos.
Yeah.
So it just only leaves us to say,
keep relishing life.